on this Monday. Amen. I don't know about y'all, but Mondays are always tough. Amen. Good to see you. Good to see you. Brother Larry, I prayed you here. Last Monday, we had 17 people in person, 83 people online, and all of them were females. Thank God for the women, but we need some more brothers. Amen. Amen. All right, let's pray, and y'all going to be excited about the information for tonight. Father God, we say thank you for this opportunity for you to bless our finances. Bless us in the area of stewardship in a way that will honor you, be a blessing not only to us, but our loved ones, our church, our community, Father God. I pray a fresh anointing on our presenters tonight, that you just speak not only to them, but through them, Father God. Open up our hearts and minds to receive your truth. And we say thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. Give it up for the Lord and for this great Money Matters team.
All right. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for being here. All right. We're excited to have you guys here in our second week. As you know, this class runs for about 7 weeks. This is the second week, okay? It's going to be a great class, a lot of good stuff going on. You guys had a lot of homework from last week, right? So tonight we're going to talk about that homework and just kind of see how far you made it. We got any new people tonight for the first time? All right. Tell us who you are back there. Cheryl Tippins. Welcome to the class. What? Pippins, okay. Welcome to the class. Anybody else? You were here last week, weren't you? Okay. Yeah, come on. Jerry K. Okay. Got Dr. Bullock here. Thank you for being here. Anybody else? Larry? Mr. Larry Westmore, thank you for being here. All right, we're going to just jump right in tonight. For those people, this is your first night. If you want to catch up on the homework, kind of talk to us between breaks, or when the class is over, we can give you the homework to catch up on. The first homework was tracking your spending. Did anybody find out anything from last week? Tracking your spending was from last Monday through this Monday. Did anybody find out anything about their spending, where the money's going? All right, talk to me. Okay.
Thank you, Father. But I also see that there are some things that I could move out and move to savings.
Okay. So from your experience, just looking at 1 week of your spending, did you see where you could save at least $3.33 a day?
Yes.
You gonna be able to do that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. A lot of you guys don't understand when I talk about $3.33 a day. That's kind of a hot spot with me. You know, it's $100 a month. Okay. And a lot of people don't understand the power of investing $100 a month compared to wasting $100 a month. If you invested $100 a month at 10%, in 20 years, you have over $75,000 in cash or more in your investments. So we taught you guys a word last week called lost opportunity cost, right? So you lose the opportunity to invest if you're wasting money. So your goal in this class is to find out where the money's going, give the money some new direction, redirect that money, okay? Set up a debt elimination plan to get totally out of debt in the next 7 to 10 years. When I say totally out of debt, I'm talking about your houses, your cars, your credit cards, your student loans. We're going to teach a strategy to get you totally out of debt in the next 7 to 10 years. 3 to 5 years in student loans if you got a ton of debt, okay? We're also going to teach you an investment strategy, but we got to find money for you to invest and save. Who else had an experience from last week? Tell us your experience, please. Go ahead, stay there. On entertainment? Okay. So you like to have a good time. That's good. So, see, when I say that's good, guys, all this stuff is good, but you got to have something called a financial chassis in place before you can do all these things. And we're going to talk in this class about what a financial chassis looks like. You got to have that in place before you can do all the entertainment and other stuff. So write that word down, financial chassis. All right, Gwen, tell us about your experience.
Okay. My experience was that I knew that there's money that I'd have to spend for daily expenses and so forth, but I realized that I give away money.
Oh.
I do, even though it's to my grandchildren, I'm still giving away money. Within 3 days, I had given away like almost $75.
Wow. It's good to be in a place to do that. And it's okay to do that.
Yeah, it's okay, but it was just the idea to actually really, to see it. I was keeping an envelope on everything I was doing on a daily basis, and it was just interesting to see, just how, just what I was doing.
Yeah.
Not really thinking about it, but that made me be accountable.
That's right. That's right. The accountability piece is really important, really important. Anybody else an experience from the last 7 days? Okay, good deal. The next thing I want you to work on was to complete out the What I Spend worksheet to identify all your expenses. The What I Spend worksheet. Did most of you guys get that done? What did you find out about your What I Spend worksheet?
For me, I spent it on basically what I needed it on. But,
Okay.
I spent a little bit on miscellaneous, a piece of candy or something here or there.
Okay.
But, I want a fixed income, so I have to look at it and been through the class before.
Mm-hmm.
It really helps me to really look at what I'm spending.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
doing good, actually.
Good deal. I'm
I've
glad.
gotten out of debt since I've taken this class.
Oh,
I
wonderful.
have no debt.
No debt.
No debt.
A testimony from the class.
Yes,
How about
no,
that?
No debt, thank God.
Let me tell you how important that is. Going into retirement, sometimes we think we need a whole lot of money for retirement, okay? When you start thinking about your retirement, I want you to think about the net amount of income that you bring home, okay? That's your lifestyle money. I don't care how much money you're making, but you're living off of what you bring home each month, right? Now, if you can get rid of most of your debt by the time you go into retirement, do you need less money, what? To live on. So if you have a drop in income, you got Social Security and your pension plan or whatever, those two things should make up enough money to offset the drop in income when you retire. They should. Because you shouldn't be servicing a lot of debt when you go into retirement. So you're in a good place then if you're out of debt. You're going into your retirement years whenever you decide to retire. Oh, you're already retired, okay. So it makes a lot of sense. Anybody else track your spending? Can somebody tell me what CFO stands for? CFO, we talked about it last week in the first class. CFO. What is it? Chief Financial Officer. You guys got that? You are the Chief Financial Officer of what? Your personal economy, right? So to track your spending sheet is extremely important because if you don't know where you're going, any road may get you somewhere you don't want to be, right? So you got to know that at the end of the month that you're in the black and not the red. If you notice on that, what track your spending sheet, at the very bottom it has total income at the end of the month, right? It has what? Expenses. So if your expenses are more than your total income at the end of the month, then Houston, we got a problem. And our goal in this class, of course, is to fix that. Any other questions on what I spend sheet? You guys understand how it works? Did you put down on the what I spend sheet the accounts, the balances, and the interest rates on those accounts? It's going to be really important because when we help you put together your debt elimination plan, we're going to need that information. That's why I want you to do it now, okay? All right.
So when she mentions that she doesn't have a lot of debt, that means that she has a lot of money to invest, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And the third thing for you to audit your bank account. We want you to pull bank statements for the last 3 months to see where your money went. Did anybody do that? What did you find out about your spending? Huh? Pretty much the same? Any surprises? What'd you say?
And it should be open.
Hey, Candace, give the speaker, I want her to say it out loud. You could be doing what?
I could be saving a lot more money.
A lot more money. Just remember, guys, use this formula in the back of your head. For every $100 that you waste it's cost you $75,000 over the next 20 years. So if you're wasting $200, how much does it cost you over the next 20 years? $150,000, right? So do those numbers times 75,000 each time. The purpose of you audit your bank account because most of us use plastic, and it's really important to know where the money is going and not be guessing each month. Okay? To begin working on your personal financial binder, did we do that?
How many pages were you supposed to do? 2? Good.
Anybody do more than 2 pages? Do more than 2?
A piece of it? That's good, because next week, ooh, it's a lot. The 2 pages next week is intense, so you should have got your confidence built this week. Okay.
Yeah. Let me tell you the importance of the financial binder so you understand why it's so important for you to work on it. You know, being a financial advisor myself over the last 35 years, I've had a lot of stories that are very unpleasant stories. And one of the stories I had over the last 35 years had a young couple. They got married, been married 3 or 4 years, had 2 young kids. They were going to Memphis to hang out, left the kids at grandma's house. They got killed in a tractor trailer accident coming back to Little Rock. And guess what? Nobody knew where their stuff was at. The 401k stuff, the insurance stuff, all that stuff, nobody knew where that stuff was at. Now, luckily, I had most of their stuff in my files. I was able to get with the family and help provide how to find most of that stuff because they had been sitting and talking with me. But they had a financial binder. Everything that's important would be inside that financial binder. That's why it's going to be so important for you guys to be on these last 2 classes when the attorney comes in and talk about their estate planning piece. Because guess what? Those kids had to be placed in somebody's home when those parents died. And those kids may not be placed in the home that you want to be replaced in. Are you getting that? Because the courts step in. You got these 2 set of in-laws that want the kids. They want the 401k money. They want the insurance money. They want all this stuff, right? So somebody has to decide that. So it's really important you fill out your financial binder and be in that estate planning class that the attorney's going to be here talking about. Everybody understand that? Extremely important. All right, the last homework was pulling your credit report. You guys get your credit report pulled. You guys understand how to read your credit report. When you pulled your credit report, did you read it? Did you guys get some scores? Did you pay for the extra scores? If you pulled your credit report and didn't pay for the extra scores, I'm going to suggest that you, I think it's called Credit Karma. Go to Credit Karma and set up your free account. Credit Karma will monitor your credit for you for free. They're also going to be trying to sell you credit cards and all that kind of stuff. Don't worry about that. But their scores are going to be pretty close to what your annual credit report is going to have. That score sometimes is 5 to 10 points off. If Credit Karma say your score is a 720, it's probably a 710 in actuality. They're a little high sometimes, okay? Pull your credit reports, because on the night that the banker's going to be here, he's going to go in detail and talk about that credit report and what you need to be looking at to qualify for a business or to qualify to buy a home. He's going to tell you the inside secrets of what the bankers are looking for. This is a great time for questions. Any questions? Go ahead. Well, most of the credit card companies have something called CreditWise, Discovery, and Capital One. They have the same thing that Credit Karma has, of course. So you can use any of those to monitor your credit, but just make sure you got something monitoring your credit. Real important. Any more questions? Gwen says, do we need to pull all 3 credit reports? Absolutely, Gwen. You want to pull all 3 credit reports. Sometime in this part of the country, I think TransUnion is the main one a lot of creditors look at, okay? But pull all 3 credit reports to make sure they're in conjunction with each other. Yes?
I was told one time that you pull them in certain times during the year. Can you not do that?
Well, the annual free...
You want to make sure that, somebody, you pull one and you wait a year and something might happen.
Well, good question. She says she was told that you should pull your credit report at least once or twice a year. That's the main purpose I said get Credit Karma or Credit Sesame or CreditWise, one of those monitoring services. So if anybody access your credit, they will automatically send you a notification. So over those 12 months, they are freely monitoring your credit, okay? Good question for the group. But annual free credit report is something that was mandated by the federal government so you guys could check your credit. Yes, ma'am. Probably so. Is that correct? Okay. Yeah. Give access to it. Yeah. Some of you guys can pull it every week. I do something kind of special every year. I've got some debit cards, and sometimes I go online and buy stuff. And sometimes I set up automatic payments with stuff, and I want to get it cut off, right? Guess how I get it cut off? Huh? Nah. Anybody got a guess? 2 reasons I do this. I get it cut off. I go to the bank and say, I need another debit card. And guess what? They give me another debit card, and the stuff that was coming through, what just happened? Got cut off immediately. And secondly, when you get debit cards 2 or 3 times a year on your accounts, it helps with the security side of it, just in case somebody got your old debit cards. I count some out about every 6 months. I go in and get a new one on each one of my accounts, just for security purposes. Yes? All right. Any other questions? We're getting ready to get into some good stuff here in a little bit. I just want to make sure that you guys are getting their homework done. Any questions? No questions. Okay. Good class. Okay, what we're going to do now is going to take some time. Candace, you're going to come up, and we're going to get into some other stuff. And are you going to be doing the first thing, the 30 minutes?
Yeah, first.
Okay. We're going to get Candace. She's going to come up and talk about the effect of credit cards and credit in general, and some things you just need to know about it. So everybody give Candace a hand. Candace Woodruff.
All right. I think I'm good to go. How's everybody doing? Good. Did anybody have any feelings when you were doing your financial plans? Ooh, deep breaths. That was good. What did it mean? Anybody feel a sense of pain? Like, oh, why am I doing myself like this? Okay, that was it. All right. I've been there, done that. That's why I could identify it real fast. She's saying that, okay. And any of you like, okay, I'm not doing as bad as I thought. Okay, kind of. Ooh, all right, well, we in Money Matters, so we can be honest about our money. Can everybody say, my money matters? All right, y'all didn't really say it like you meant it. I'm gonna talk to the chat real quick because they're a little more excited than y'all already, okay? So the chat will say, my money matters in the chat. Now, people who are here, can we get a little bit better? My money matters. All right, one more time. My money matters. All right, energy is transferred. Give me some, I'm gonna give you some back. I like it, let's do it. So your money matters. Deacon Thomas is amazing. He's always challenging your thought processes as it relates to your money. And that's what he's taught me to do over all these years I've been with him. So I'm gonna do a little bit more of that tonight. A few things though, because he mentioned cash flow last week. I'm gonna make sure we hone in on cash flow this week, and then we'll pull everything together. Then we're gonna talk about some credit cards. So the quote says, and actually, I believe Benjamin Franklin said this. He said, watch the little things. A small leak can sink a great ship. Now that's huge, right? Really huge. Have anybody ever had like a water leak or plumbing leak? And that leak is real small, so you really didn't recognize it, or somewhere you don't see it. And then that water bill get in there and it's $300. Anybody experienced that before? Oh, okay. So a small leak can sink a great ship, right? Because, they just tore your pockets up. Well, we have to think about that as it relates to our finances. So can someone tell me, because I know we've talked about this before, what is cash flow? Can somebody tell me what's cash flow?
What's left over after you pay your bills and everything?
Okay, anybody hear her? Somebody else said on this side. Okay, good. So y'all got it. That's real good. Have y'all took the class before? Oh, okay, that's good. That's real good. Make sure you're putting it in there. So they're absolutely right. Cash flow, and I put this woman right there because that's how some of y'all look when you talk about your finances, like, oh my God, I don't want to talk about cash flow or a bank statement or any of that, right? Any of my avoiders in here? Yeah, we feel that way. And then Cat Williams like, cash flow, what is that? You know? But she's absolutely right. So income minus expenses equals cash flow. If there was a formula that you want to use, you always want to consider that concept. Income minus expenses equals cash flow. That's how much money you have left over after your expenses. What is your cash flow? Oh, don't say that out loud, right? Don't put it in the chat. Don't say it out loud. My goal of me bringing up this question is that if you did the proper worksheet, the What I Spend worksheet, you should actually know. It should say it in the bottom. You should say cash flow positive or cash flow negative. And like Deacon Thomas just said, if you're cash flow negative, we got to become the CFO and start cutting some things. Anybody need to cut some things? All right, so I'm going to give you a few tips today on some things that we can cut. All right, we can cut some stuff. And you got it. So I put the little things here because normally we make you like calculate your cash flow, but we don't have to do that today because y'all did y'all homework and we did real good, so we ain't got to stay there. But was anybody surprised? Y'all look like this lady? Like, okay. Yeah, okay. You mentioned that earlier, like I can really do better. That's good. That's good. And that's what the class is all about. And some people like, yeah, I don't have any idea. I wasn't here last week and, I'm just starting, and that's okay. All right, I think I put that there. Yeah, it's okay, right? It's okay if you're not sure. The goal of the class is so that you can find some things, figure out what's best for you, what the best thing is, and what your cash flow is. That's important. I always like to say this quote: "You can do anything but stay the same." Ooh, I'm gonna say it again. You might have missed it. I might have said it too fast. Let me say it one more time. You can do anything but stay the same because the current situation that you're in is what your habits did to you. Ooh. So your habits that you were doing is what got you in your current situation. You can't keep doing those habits and get something different. They call that what? Insanity. Ooh, somebody got it. All right, I'm going to leave y'all alone today. Y'all just looking at me smiling. All right, so let's take a look in the mirror. This is the piece don't nobody like to do. Meet Tim. Tim's pretty awesome. He looks great. All right, he got breakfast for $5. Now, I ain't going to talk about nobody in the room. We're going to talk about Tim. I put a man up here because they said it wasn't a lot of men in the class when they looked at the stats, okay? So we're gonna exclude the 2 men today. We're going to talk about the men today. All right, ladies? We ain't going to talk about y'all. $7 instead of $5. Right. So that you got, oh, yeah, that's a good point. She said you got to use your app. Make sure you use that app. Boy, I be in the, so I have my niece. Skylar's amazing. She just had a birthday. She's 7 now. And I have my niece again, Titi, I want McDonald's. And I'm like, all right, let me pull up this app and see, and see what deals I can get. They got a Happy Meal that's been continuous. Like, if you get the Happy Meal, you get something free with this. Oh, yeah, we're getting the Happy Meal. But she don't never eat it anyway. I just don't understand. Why she... Okay, so we got breakfast for $5, lunch for $12. My numbers are a little low, but boy, he got a snack because he was hungry in the middle of work. For $8, that's about right. $25 a day. Ooh. Did he eat dinner? He was supposed to cook. Now you imagine if he spent $25 a day and I didn't include dinner, that's 5 days a week. How much money is that? That's $500 a month that is seeping through the cracks. So many of you say, well, Candace, where's my money going? Where's my wealth? I say, you ate it up. Literally. So when Deacon Thomas talks about that that $3.33 a day, I like to think 5, it's big. No, $3.33 a day, it's right there. Cut breakfast. Make your coffee at home instead of going to Starbucks. Okay, all right, y'all quiet on me. I'm going to leave it alone. Or what about meal prep? If you made Sunday dinner, that can at least last you till Monday too. A little extra. Okay. Boy, I had a client tell me I don't like leftovers. I said, oh, you ain't never been poor before. And then I told her, well, it tastes better the second or third day, honestly. The seasoning sit in. Don't worry about it, girl. You don't know. She's like, well, I can try it. You ain't got no money. We got to work it out. That's it. So we got a meal prep. What else can we do? We can cut down on eating out. Anybody got that in their expenses? A note for themselves? A whole bunch. Okay. Yep. Got a couple hands. Teenager. So it's easy. Oh, well, he got practice. Let me go get him something to eat real quick. And we're not saying don't do it. We're just saying cut it down. right? Just cut it down a little bit. What else we can look at? Ooh. That baby said, not my cable. Now, let me ask you a question. What's your name? Lisa. Miss Lisa. You seem like an amazing woman who enjoys TV, and that's fine. And that's fine. How many channels you watch?
Honestly, about 5.
Oh, you watch 5 channels. I bet we can find a different streaming service that costs less than cable.
I promise my son and his wife, they live in Hot Springs, and they pay, I don't know how much on the different apps on the,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Different app.
And they watch a whole lot more than I do.
Right.
A bigger variety.
Uh-huh. And they pay less, huh?
Every month when I see the bill, I'm like, I'm gonna get rid of this stuff.
Uh-huh.
I done passed up a trip to Puerto Rico.
Absolutely. Waiting on cable. Listen, you listen to me. Can we cut it this month? Okay. Find your 5 channels that you watch, identify them, and then we'll find some other apps that you can find it on. And it might be one app that gives you everything for a lower price. But cable is extreme, okay? But then, so are subscriptions, because if you cut the cable and get 5, 6 different subscriptions, it'll help you. Oh. How many of y'all got Netflix, Hulu, Prime, and Tubi, and Disney Plus, and look at that.
ESPN channel.
ESPN, look at that. Okay, we share codes. All right, that's smart. That's a way to cut it, right? So she just mentioned we share the passcode, and so I might pay, and this is actually what I do. I pay for Netflix. I got the little family plan. And then my mother, she plays for Hulu. She got the family plan. So yeah, we good, right? So I got her login, and then my friend CJ, she actually paid for Hulu. So I don't pay for any of that stuff. We share, right? That's absolutely right. Y'all better get some friends and family members and start sharing. Are you finna cut it out? And you know what, Miss Lisa? Just a thought for you. It just came to mind. If your son and them doing that stuff, just say, hey, I'm working on my finances, want to increase my cash flow. Would you mind sharing? You'll log in with me. They'll do it. They love you. Mm-hmm. Okay. What about them hair and nails? Now listen. Don't be like that. Y'all just moaned and groaned on me. You ain't got no hair. I understand. I mean, think about how much money you spent. But just give me a second. You were going to say something. I'm trying to make. So my mother does hair. So she said, "You trying to make your mama mad at me?" No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not. Your daughter said, "No discounts on me. Don't do that because she coming for her money." Okay. Okay. So this is the thing. I'm not saying don't do it. Right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying be mindful. Can I give you my strategy? All right, I'll give you my strategy. Instead of getting my nails done every 2 weeks, I get my nails done every 3 weeks. Right? That's once a month. See? Every 3 weeks, once a month. And they just started looking bad anyway, so if I go at the top of the month, I just did real good. See? Yep, that's right. She said if you get the dip, you can go a little longer. That's right. But see, let me tell you where I get you at. See, they used to get me on the dip. They want me to get the dip because they get to take it all off. And then do the full set. I want a full set. I want a feel. Can I get a feel? And a feel is cheaper than a full set. Let me get that every 3 weeks, and I need a feel. I'll take the shellac. It all lasts long anyway. The men probably looking like y'all really having a conversation about nails. It's important. How much does it cost to get your nails done? Nails and toes? $85. $200 if she getting her and her daughter. They fancy. They just spent a lot of money. Nails and toes. Because we want to be cute. And now you didn't spend money on your hair. I'm blessed. My mama do hair. So add your hair in there, right? So if we're talking about, we want to find cash flow, if you cut that $80 from that 2 times a month, instead of doing it twice a month, we do it once a month, did I just create $80? And that doesn't include the tip, so let's say I gave them $5, right? That's a win. we have to think about these things. It seems like it's minor, but it's really major. That's plenty of money. And auto insurance, when was the last time you checked it? Every year. When's the last time you checked it? I'm waiting. Ooh, she gave me a face. What'd you say?
I pulled mine, checked mine yesterday.
Okay, checked it yesterday.
What you mean by checking?
When's the last time you shopped around and checked your rate, or are you just like, oh, it's fine, I can afford it and I pay it? I bet if you shop around, you're going to save some money. I always get you. She said it. She said, you always get me. I understand. I had to do it. Right? But this is finance. All right, let's shop. Who's shopping around for insurance now? Did you put that in your notes? I ain't looking pretty and just talking. I want you to put it in your notes now. Come on.
Got a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Even though you shop around, because I have friends that sell auto insurance, you always have is it worth it for me to get a good deal if something happened to my car and they don't do what they're supposed to do?
No.
You can shop around and get a good deal.
Well,
and
if you
something
get
happens.
you want to get the proper coverage. I'm not saying shop around and then decrease your coverage. I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying that.
Don't decrease your
Not
value.
I'm talking about in regards to the service.
Service?
Sometimes when you pay the money, you're really paying for the service.
I hadn't really experienced that. Like if an insurance company puts in contract that they're going to pay if this what it say, now if I read the contract and I signed it and that's what they said, that's on me. But if the insurance company put it on the paperwork, I had never experienced them not paying. Right. So I would say do what's best for you, but read your contracts. And don't subsidize the value of your plan. So if you know that the low is 25, 50, 25, and you drive a Bentley or a BMW, you probably need a higher plan, 50, 150, if that's the numbers, I think. You understand? Yes.
Can I say this real quick?
Yep. You want to get the mic?
Yeah. Thank you. Real experience. Number one, don't fall in love with your insurance companies. Okay? They're in business to make money and be profitable. True story. Was using Geico insurance. I switched from, I guess it was AAA, had been with State Farm. So I changed up a little bit because I'm trying to save money. Spending about $400 a month, about $438 a month for insurance on about 3 or 4 cars. Went to State Farm. Same coverages, same insurance, was $225. State Farm. Did you catch that?
He switched.
I switched. Now, I had been with Geico for about 4 or 5 years. But as you know with your insurance, when you stay there, every year it goes up a little bit, doesn't it? Whether you have an accident or not, it goes up, doesn't it? So every 3 to about 5 years, you need to start shopping and go back to another insurer you were with. They were all blue chip carriers. Geico is blue chip, State Farm is blue chip, AAA, Allstate, they're all blue chip carriers. But that's what happens. It's something you have to leave and come back to get the best rates. So don't fall in love with your insurance companies, number one, okay? Number two, what Candace was talking about on that channel stuff, I got to tell you, that's so important because most people only watch 4 or 5 channels. So thank you, Candace, for mentioning that. I'm done. I just want to put that in there as a personal experience.
I got another one. I know you're going to go over it, so you might well keep that in mind. Oh, I moved it. I think I got it, Tiffany. Let me see. Okay. I think I got it. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we'll want to check.
Well, we had a vehicle that was stolen, and so, so the insurance took care of that. And I think that's a reason why I haven't looked at any other coverage, because I've got this mindset that, that trying to go to another company, they may not want to
Cover you.
do business with us because of that.
Okay, let me repeat. No, you're not wrong, but let me repeat and give you a solution, okay? So what she's saying, she said, if I haven't checked my insurance since 2017, okay? Although I hadn't checked it, we had a vehicle stolen back in that time, and I'm really fearful that they're not going to insure me if I go to another company, or it'll be higher. The thing is that when you're checking around for insurance, you're not canceling your current plan until you get a new plan. Okay, so you're just shopping around. You're not committing to anyone, but shop and just see, right? And there's no harm in shopping around and seeing what could be better for you. Okay, yeah, no problem. All right, Home insurance. Ooh. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
My question was, it was about home insurance. Is it, you find it cheaper to get the home insurance and the auto insurance together?
That's common. Right, so that's what I was about to say. So home insurance, I got you. And then you come back with it, okay? So home insurance, how many of you own a home? All right. When was the last time you shopped around for home insurance? Oh, let me tell you, it almost never happens. Let me tell you why. A couple times. Almost never happens, right? Because it's so easy. It's built into your mortgage. You don't have to worry about it. It's like, oh, don't worry, it's fine. If it goes up a couple dollars, you're not really paying attention to it. It's not a big deal. You want to shop around for home insurance because although your plan that you're currently on may seem like it's great, you may be able to get a lower plan, not decreasing your value, just shopping, okay? You had something? No? All right. Oh, yeah, perfect. And bundling your home and auto often gives you discounts. Different companies do different things, but bundling is good if that's a better rate. When me and Mom was looking at hers, it actually wasn't a better rate for her to bundle. It was better for her to stay separate. But when you're shopping, you can actually do that math on your own. And don't let an agent just sell you because they want to make money. Do your research. Help yourself, okay? All right, online shopping. Anybody love Amazon? Ooh, and the fact that I can get it in 2 days with Prime, okay. Ooh, I'll be happy. But if you look at them numbers in that bank statement, y'all pulled your bank statements, right, last 3 months. How many times you see Amazon Prime on there?
Not for me, because when they went up on their rate, then I canceled.
Oh, you canceled it when they went up on their rate? I kept it, girl. They give me so many 2 days. I need it. I'm spoiled. But you know, that's true. That's true. You had something? All right, Amazon Prime is a big deal. I always mention that one because it's the most common. All right, but online shopping, like Deacon Thomas said earlier, it's the swipe. It's the swipe. Oh, you don't see it. Easy. Leaking. Let's not have leaking pockets, all right? Life insurance. This is one of those areas that we'll talk about. We have a whole class over insurance, but it is an area that you'll want to check. So pull your life insurance policies. If you don't have it, if you don't know what it is or not sure how much it costs, it should be in your documents, but pull your policies so you'll know, and we'll talk about the difference between term and whole and how you can save money in that area. I won't go deep into this, but I'm mentioning it so you can pull those policies, okay? All right, now how much money are you really wasting? And then I'm going to get into some credit card stuff. Oh, yeah, I'm on good timing. How much money are you really wasting? Can somebody say that they looked at their financial plan when they put what I spend stuff down and say they could be wasting $100 a month? Easy? $200 a month? 300. I got 2 for 300. Let's use that number. I like it. All right. $300 a month is $3,600 per year. Yeah, you having a good time, but I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna leave you alone today. I'm gonna spare you today, okay? I'm gonna leave that alone now. What's your name? Miss Shonda. Don't be showing that at the front. I did. I like it. Keep stay up here with me. All right, so when Deacon Thomas mentioned earlier that you lose, it's lost opportunity cost. Y'all remember that? What he's saying is that you're losing your earning potential when you're wasting money, when you're eating your wealth, when we're getting our nails and toes done a little bit too much, right? When we're letting the leaking pockets happen, we're losing our earning potential on our money. So what does that look like when it comes to money in numbers? Let's look at 10% over the next 30 years. So some of you know the rule of 72, some of you don't. I'm not going to go deep into that. I'm just going to show you the baseline numbers of what this could look like for you. Wasting, everybody say wasting. Ooh, wasting $300 a month. In 5 years, that $300 that you spent eating out could have been $27,000. 10 years, it could have been $68,000. Anybody know what that number is at 18 years? Can somebody say it? Too much. $195,000 over the 18 years is what your money could have done if you didn't have leaking pockets. Oh. Or what about 30 years? Because some of us been doing this for a long time. $727,000 on a basic 10%. Sometimes we just have to look at ourselves and be like, what am I doing? But let me just make it a little worse, because some of y'all not talking, but you big spenders. You spend a lot of money. So let's go ahead and talk about that $500. 5 years, 10 years, 18 years is $315,000, and 30 years is $1.2 million. Did your wealth just go to eating out or cable or? Oh, my grandbabies wanted this. Oh, my baby need the latest tennis shoes. Oh, I just like Starbucks every day. Okay, I don't say nothing else. I'm gonna leave it alone because y'all just looking at me, right? Lost opportunity cost is the loss of your earning power. And it gets even worse when I talk about what a mess. Everybody got their notes? Let's talk about that real quick. What a mess is a concept based around credit cards. Anybody got credit cards on that list? Yeah. All right, here we go. Y'all ready? It's on your notes page. Did everybody get a notes page from the back? We gave you a notes page and a student loan interest page. Okay. If you're online, no worries. You got your own notepad. But if you're online, we're going to send you a link with all the links that we're providing tonight. Everything will be provided to you in an email format. Okay. All right. Interest. Everybody ready? Here we go. Interest is the penalty. Everybody say penalty. Penalty. What is a penalty? Somebody answer that question for me. Let's get real basic. What is a penalty? It's a charge. Okay. It's a charge, so it has nothing to do with the actual amount you owe, right? It's just an extra fee. It's a fee. All right. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance that you cannot afford. Now, Mr. Stokes says this, and I know you're writing it down, and I'm going to let you write it down. I'm going to give you a second, and I'm going to say it again and make sure that we understand the concept. And then I'm going to make sure, and I'm going to let you give me examples of when we pay interest on things. Y'all ready? I'm going to say it again. Interest. One more time. Interest. Is the penalty. All right. You're right. And I'm going to give you some time. It's a real good one. I want you to write it down because it's so good.
So what was the other word for penalty?
A fee. Yeah. I like that, Miss Lisa. I'm going to add that. Interest is the fee you pay. Just the fee. Has nothing to do with your principal. Just the fee.
I was thinking about like a speeding ticket.
Like a fee. And she said, and I'm going to repeat that for online. She said in her mind she was thinking about it like a speeding ticket. I wanted to get there fast, so they gave me a ticket because I shouldn't have been trying to get there fast. Penalty. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance that you cannot afford. What is something that we pay interest on? Cars, vehicles. Okay? Credit cards. Good. Anything else? Student loans, our topic for the second half. Absolutely. Absolutely. She said furniture on tab. Is that what you said? Layaway. Yes, ma'am. No, that's right. You're absolutely right. I wanted to make sure I got it exactly how you said it, Dr. Bullock. She said furniture on tab. That's super important. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Rent to own.
With the grandkids, and just put it on your credit.
Put it on your credit card.
Work it out.
Right. Feels like we got that time, but then don't pay that on time. It ain't 0%. So let's talk about what this looks like when it relates to numbers. Okay? And I know you won't be able to write this down, so actually do me a favor. Don't take notes. Just listen and feel what I'm about to say. Is that okay? Unless I say something real good, you can write that down, okay? All right, so when we talk about a mess, we're going to talk about this credit card that you owe $5,000 on. Let's say it's somebody, Tim. We talked about Tim earlier. Tim owes $5,000 on a credit card. He pays $100 a month. Ooh, that sounds pretty common, right? That's about right. Yeah, they want that number to be real low. Okay, well, let's do a breakdown of what his interest rate is. It's a 21% interest rate, and when you break that down, 21% divided by 12 gives you 1.75%. Now, that doesn't mean anything until you start breaking down that interest payment. Y'all ready? You got to carry your line. So 0.0175 times 5,000 equals $87.50 a month that he pays in interest. Interest is the what? The penalty. So that says the fee that he's paying is $87.50 that he's paying on that $100 payment. Now, anybody know how to do math like I do? I know you can do that real fast. So what is he paying on the principal? $12. Is that what she said? $12, Candace. That's ridiculous. On a $5,000 credit card. The minimum payment's getting you, right? All right. Now, I'm not saying start paying over your credit card bill. Let's just take it slow, because somebody going to listen to this and not come to the next class and say, they said overpay on your credit card. I didn't say that. You got to come to all the classes, because we're going to teach you how to pay your credit cards off the right way. All right? We're going to pay them off the right way with a plan. Okay, I wanted to say that because some people ain't going to show up after today because they only came for student loans anyway. So let me just be real clear, okay? All right, here we go. $12.50. Let me just do a recap before I get into reality, okay? $5,000 owed. You pay $100 a month. The interest rate is 21%. $87.50 goes to the fee or penalty, and $12.50 goes to the principal. What's the principal? The amount that you borrowed, the amount you owe them. So $12.50 actually goes toward the $5,000. It was going to take them a real long time to pay it off, right? Let's keep going. The reality is that $5,000 divided by $12.50 is 400 months. Anybody got a calculator? 400 months divided by 12 is what? How long? What y'all say? A long time. 33 years to be specific. Oh, for $5,000. Happens every day. Man, let me. They having a whole conversation about this 33 years. You hear me? They said you are in jail for life. But let's think about this though. Let's really come down to it. It says you're sentencing, so let's talk about what the banks earn. Now, I'm not upset with banks. I just feel like they know something that many people don't know. All right? They know how to make money in a different kind of way. But when you know better, you can do better. Y'all agree with that? All right, let's see it though. Let's make sure we get it and feel it. All right, I actually not to take notes because this is so important. That $87.50 times 400 months is $35,000 that the bank earns on a $5,000 credit card. My God, that's a lot. So we wonder why the bank buildings are so big, right? But let me ask you a question. This is the basics. What happens when you pay it down and run it up? Pay it down and run it up. Everybody do that. Do this. Pay it down and run it up, right? Terrible. We don't never need to do this no more. That thing is about it is that it's worse. Because when you pay it down and run it up, that means it's just happening all over again. And we're not really getting anywhere. We're like a hamster on a wheel just going in circles and not getting anywhere. Does that make sense? It makes sense now that you look at it, but it doesn't make sense that we do it every single day. We have to get out of it. And I think the only way we can really get out of it is through education and for us to be able to see the real numbers and then put your own interest rate in there and see how it's going. Because 21% actually is not very high. They're about 26, 27% rates on cards. Easy. Okay? Our lack of knowledge will cost us a whole lot of money. Some people say, well, what you don't know can't hurt you. Oh, man. It can hurt you and cost you a ton of money. A ton of money. Okay, so this is our section that we like to talk about when it comes to cash flow. We'd like to make sure you have your forms filled out. And we'd like to talk about, what if I don't pay my debt off? What if I don't do the things that we're talking about tonight? Well, that's what happens to us. We get eat up. We get ate up by credit cards, the interest, and all the stuff that's happening to us that we have no idea that's really happening because we have no knowledge of it, okay? All right, so questions about this? No? Yes, no, maybe? Ooh, y'all just looking at me. You look like you need a break. You do? You have a question? Did I miss it? Okay. Deacon Thomas? Comments, questions? We're good here? We're good? All right. Y'all want to eat something? Well, if you're face to face, we can eat. And then if not, you get your snack on your break. Yes, ma'am.
You have covered this, I don't know if you covered it last week, but like Like you pay
Oh.
so much a month and you don't have to pay the fee that come out to check your property.
Right. That's the homeowners.
And you may be paying $87 a month just for the homeowner insurance.
Right.
What you think about that?
She's talking about homeowners insurance, which is like American Home Shield and different companies like that. Let me repeat what you said and then I'll answer you.
Like fixing the washer dryer.
Right. So what happens, you get homeowners insurance when you want to cover your appliances in your household. Okay, let's be very clear on it. So normally, like large items, your HVAC system, which is the air conditioner and heating system, washer and dryer, dishwasher, stove, refrigerators, things like that. So the appliances in your home is covered by homeowners insurance. She's asking, is it worth the $87 a month? It depends. That's going to be my answer. The reason I say that, and Deacon Thomas may have some additions to it, but I'm going to say it depends. When I get a new home, absolutely. I'm going to pay it. It's normally included into the numbers, and I'm paying it because you don't know what's going on with that home, right? But then 5-6 years later, you may say, you know what, I don't need this. I can save this money myself, or I got to grasp on things. I don't really need this plan, because you never know. But then, as soon as you cut it off, if something go bad, you're going to be real upset. Right? So I can't say. And then it may also have something to do with how old your home is and how old your appliances are. That also has something to do with it, because if them appliances are old, I'm going to say keep that plan because it's a matter of time. All right? Deacon Thomas, you got something to add to that? Homeowners insurance?
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, homeowners insurance is important, like she said, but as the house ages, of course, the appliances and stuff inside that home is going to age. Mm-hmm. Also, the pipes and all that stuff's going to age. And even if you get a home in certain areas where it's got tree roots and all that kind of stuff under the ground, it could cause problems with your plumbing tubes. I think when a house gets 5, 6, 7 years old, you really need to maintain your appliance, those types of coverages, because things do happen. Mm-hmm. Over the years, I've had a lot of clients, that stuff happened to them, and they didn't have the coverage. It was only $65 or $80 a month, and it cost them thousands out of their reserves to fix that because the insurance wasn't there to cover it. Mm-hmm. So insurance, as you know, insurance is one of those kind of products. It just gives you peace of mind. Mm-hmm. It's what I call a just-in-case product that we just have to have, And we'll talk about that more when we get into the insurance section, because you really need to understand the value of insurance, because a lot of us are buying insurance the wrong way. And we're going to go in detail in one of our other sections and talk about that and educate you on what types of insurance you really need in all those areas to protect yourself without over-insuring, because we don't want you to be insurance poor. So you got to understand what types to buy and why you need those types. Mm-hmm. Good question, though. Did she do a good job, guys?
You hear me say, I love God. I love God. Yes, you do. All right, that's it. Okay, so money matters, student loans. This is the hot topic, right? Let's go ahead and talk about it. I was going to hold it to the last 30 minutes, but I decided just in case. Now I'm just playing. Yeah, because they're going to be mad at me online, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. It's extreme. It's extreme in a major way because it's going to really be able to clear up debt for many, many, many people, okay? So let's talk about what's happening. We discussed it a little bit last week, but I'm going to go ahead and go over what I went over last week just so we're not missing anything, okay? So student loan forgiveness, on August 24th, the Biden-Harris administration announced a student debt relief plan that includes a one-time, everybody say one time? If you're on the chat, you're going to say one time, and then we're going to say one time, one more time. One time. All right, one time. The reason they did that because they know this is barely going through. So one-time debt relief targeted to low to middle income people. So let's talk about what that means, what we're actually talking about. But before we go do that, let me be real clear. All right, I like to be very clear that this presentation is for educational purposes only. Educational purposes only. St. Mark, Arvest Bank, and the volunteers teaching this course is not guaranteeing that you'll receive student loan forgiveness, okay? We just want to be real clear to give the disclaimer that this is for education and we want you to be great, but we're not guaranteeing anything. We're just going to tell you what the people told us, all right? It's all online. You can find it anywhere. We're just going to put it in layman's term for you. So everybody say education. Education. And then on the chat say education. Oh, okay, y'all got it. I do that so we can make sure everybody's very clear on where we are, okay? Now that we got that part, I want to give you a couple of tips before I go deep into the whole process and the details of student loan forgiveness. All right, consolidation is a big deal. Many times people go through the process and they don't even know what I'm talking about. So what is consolidation? Student loan consolidation is when you have multiple student loans. Let's say you went to undergrad and you went different years. Every time you got a loan, it's a different loan. Okay, so multiple years, multiple loans, you got all the loans, you have multiple student loans, you can actually combine those loans into a one loan at a fixed rate based on the average interest rates on the loans being consolidated. What does that really look like? Let me give you an example. Shonda, now Shonda, I didn't know that you were online today, but let's use you as an example, and I'm just really playing because I did this PowerPoint before we got here, and I did not know you were going to be here. But your name's Shonda, too. It's spelled differently. Shonda pays 3 federal student loans. $100 for loan A at 6%, $29 for loan B at 3%, and $222 for loan C at 7.9%. And I'm giving you the example of what consolidation does and what it really means, how it looks as an example for you, okay? A total of $349 monthly at 16.9% interest rate combined. That's extreme, okay? Now, when she consolidates, she now has one payment of $225 a month at a 5.6% rate. Now let's talk about how they got the rate. Remember, they said you combine it and then give the average. So the student loan servicer averaged out her rate. The rate ended up being 5.6%. What was the amount she was paying before? 16.9. Are y'all following? So consolidation is very important when it comes to your student loans if you hadn't done it. And actually, consolidation is a part of some of the actual processes for the forgiveness. Super important. So if you have not consolidated your loans, I encourage it, but call the student loan servicer and get some information. If you got more questions about it, you're welcome to do that. And I got phone numbers and everything on the list. Did everybody get the list? All right, if you don't have it online, remember, you have to register at moneymatterslive.com so that you can actually get the links for student loans. And if you didn't register yet, make sure you go do that now. That's moneymatterslive.com. And when you register, we're going to make sure to follow up and send you all the stuff we're talking about tonight. We'll send you the recap and the links for everything, links and phone numbers, okay? Shonda consolidates, now has one payment, and then what happens? She created some cash flow. Anybody know how much? You can just read the screen. How much cash flow did she create when she consolidated? It's hard to see on this screen because that green not showing up as great as it does in my computer, but work it out for me. I learned something tonight, okay? $124 in cash flow back into her pocket. Why? She consolidated, but what happened when she consolidated? She reduced the amount that she's paying monthly, and she reduced her interest. So instead of paying $349 a month, she's paying $124 a month. I'm sorry, she's paying $225 a month, which creates $124 in her pocket. Do y'all see that? She could just take that extra money and invest it. All right, consolidation. Everybody got it? Say got it. Got it. All right, good. Guess what? Consolidation of federal loans is free. You can do it. It doesn't cost you anything. Look at that. Another tip. I'm going to say it one more time because somebody missed it. They was eating and that chip kind of got in their ear. I'm saying. Oh, yeah, it's free. We got it. All right. And let's be clear. This is not including federal loans. Federal loans is, private loans. Federal loans is different. Private loans is with your servicer, whoever you're with, whatever bank you went through or whatever. Federal loans are different from private loans. Everything we're talking about tonight is federal loans. Private loans do not count. They're not even qualified for the actual forgiveness. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all good? Let's keep going. All right. Prepare yourself. This is what we talked about last week. Did anybody create their account that didn't already have an account or get the username, log in? Everybody get that part? Yes. Okay, good. Wonderful. If you didn't, prepare yourself. So you got to, set yourself up for success. Go to studentloans.gov. I'm going to say it again, studentloans.gov. You're going to see the federal aid page pop up. Create a username and log in if you don't already have one, and they will actually give you everything you need, okay? Everything you need will be on that site. Studentloans.gov. If you're creating an account, they'll ask for your email and social security number. All right, let's keep going. I had a friend, when she was looking at hers, she was like, oh, I didn't know I had an account. Yeah, you have an account. It said, you already have an account. Click here for forgot your password. Okay? Check your eligibility. This is number 2. We are talking about student loan forgiveness. Now, this is extremely important. Y'all ready? You're eligible for student loan forgiveness if your annual federal income was below $125,000. Now, the important part that I need you to hear on this is who that's talking to. $125,000 if you are an individual or married filing separately. If you're an individual, so single, no kids, $125,000 is your threshold to qualify for forgiveness. $250,000 if you are married, filing jointly, or head of household. Does anybody know what head of household means?
Head of household means that you're getting paid, or you're considering yourself an exemption. That's good. I'm gonna repeat it because a lot of people think that. She said head of household means that you consider yourself as an exemption. You take care of your house, basically. That is not true. There you go, Miss Lisa. Thank you, Miss Shonda. I needed that because a lot of people online think that they're the head of their household because they take care of their house and they pay all their bills and you grown and take your trash out. I get it. If you do that, that's fine. You're single. I wasn't talking about you, baby. Not talking about you. So whenever you're referring to your status, single is single, no kids. That's $125,000. If you are married, filing jointly, that's $250,000. If you are a person who takes care of yourself and a dependent, I didn't say a kid, I said a dependent. You file your taxes as head of household, guess what? It's $250,000. That's a game changer. I got a lot of people I know that if they were just single, they would not qualify. But the fact that they have a dependent means it's $250,000, they qualify. Do y'all get that? Can you define dependent for us? Dependent, that's good, thank you. I have a child that is 17 or younger, right? So that's a kid, they in the household with you, right? That's normally that's what people think about. But also a dependent could be a child that is in college that you still support and you carry them on your taxes. That's the key. You have to carry them on your taxes, all right? What about an elderly parent? Uh-oh. An elderly parent, and if your tax person ain't never taught you this, you need a new tax person. An elderly parent that, let's say they only have Social Security as income, meaning they don't have taxable income. They should be your dependent on your taxes because I'm sure you help care for them. There's a few rules with the same thing. That qualifies you as head of household. Oh, in Jesus' name. That is huge because $250,000 is a big difference from $125,000. If you hadn't filed your taxes this year, I highly recommend you making sure you filed your taxes properly if that's a difference in what could happen with your tax. Does that make sense? No, that is your gross. Yeah, I wish it was the adjusted gross. I'll give you some other strategies, but it's the gross income. They got us on that one. Wise man, they got us. Questions on this because I want to make sure we got it. $125,000 for single, no kids, or married filing separate. Now, everybody know what married filing separate is? I'm married and I don't file taxes with my husband, and on the tax status, it don't say head of household. I can't talk about that today, okay? I can't get into that. If I had time, I would, but I can't, okay? Me and my husband does not file together. I file as myself, and he files as himself, and both of our names are on the return, but it says married filing separate on the tax return. That person or a single person is $125,000. If I am an individual and me and my husband file together where it's a joint tax return, it's $250,000. If it is me and I take care of my dependents, which can be an elderly parent who qualifies, or a child that's in college that qualifies that I help to take care of, or just a regular child that is head of household on my tax return. Big deal. $250,000 is the threshold.
Kind of got a question in the chat here.
Yeah.
It says, I'm here in a household, single, have only one job. Is that person in a household?
All right. If I am head of household, I have a dependent, which means I qualify for $250,000. If I am single, I got one job, and it's just me. Now, I know you take out your trash, you 10 feet tall, you bulletproof, and all that stuff, right? Guess what? It's fine. You're still single, and you take care of yourself. It's $125. How much? $125. For a single. Good. Not head of household. No, that question is no, not head of household. If you're single with no dependents, let me be real clear. Single with no dependents on your tax return is single. Got it? Ooh, if you just come into this class for the first time, it is an amazing thing to learn what those things mean. Because some of you have your W-4s filled out incorrectly, which we'll talk about next time. Because you may have head of household on your W-4 and wonder, and this is a sidebar, let me just say that real quick. Public service announcement sidebar. Some of you have your W-4 filled out incorrectly because you thought you were head of household and you owe taxes every year and can't figure out why. Because you have head of household on your status at your job, but you're filing your taxes as single. You are single because you do not have a dependent. Fix your W-4. Don't worry, we'll talk about that next time. You should show up. All right. Let's keep going. Yeah.
This lady said she thought that student loan forgiveness was only for people providing direct service to client, patients, etc.
Wonderful. The question, let's repeat. I thought student loan forgiveness was for people who are doing the public service loan forgiveness, which is different. Public service loan forgiveness is those people who are providing direct care and work for a nonprofit or federal organization. I'm going to talk about that later. Ooh, this real good. This real good. Great question. Wonderful question. We got any others? Yes.
I have a couple friends that always have tax questions that come up, especially with the seniors that they carry even odd years because they're divorced. So 1 year they're single, 1 year they're head of household.
They should get a new tax person because there's more strategy to what they're doing and what they know. Oh, I can't get into that today because I ain't got time today, but I want to, honey. Ooh, they should come to class and they can meet somebody great. All right, good. I got you though. Seriously, that's a real answer. So for clarity, it's not just for people who are working for nonprofits or direct care or health care. It's not just for those people. Let's be very clear. You're eligible if your income is this. This is regular student loan forgiveness. We have not started talking about public service loan forgiveness yet, but we will. How much am I eligible for? $20,000 in debt relief if you received Pell Grant while you were in college. You'll be eligible for up to $20,000. $10,000 if you didn't receive Pell Grant while you were in college, and of course you meet the income thresholds. Okay, so income thresholds is the first thing. That's the first thing, right? Got to be in the income. You got to say, okay, I got the income. I'm good there. Great. If you receive Pell Grant, you get $20,000. If you receive no Pell Grant, you get $10,000. Both are good. One is better. Just depends on what your situation was at that time. Okay? I had a friend, and she said, Candace, I think they're gonna wipe all my loans away. I said, how much you owe? $8,000. I said, you ought to be just praising God, because they're gone. They're gonna be gone. That's amazing. Everybody got it? Got the numbers? We good? Can we move? All right, let's move. And so somebody gonna ask me, Candace, how do I apply for that? And I'm gonna say, well, give it till October because they're not ready yet. And if you register at moneymatterslive.com, we're gonna send you an email when it is ready. And might do an extra class because I'm committed to you. Ain't that right, Deacon Thomas?
Absolutely.
I said it online, so that means I gotta do it. No, it's serious. We really are. We're committed to your success in this. So the application process will be available, they said, October 2022. You'll have until December 31st of 2023 to apply for the basic student loan forgiveness. Even if you don't qualify for the other stuff I'm getting ready to talk about, this is one specific thing, which is the basic. We're going to call this one the basic, student loan forgiveness. Everybody got it? Questions, because I'm going to move, but I want to do questions first.
What about the Parent Plus loan?
Parent Plus loans do not qualify. Sorry. All right? We're good? Okay. Good question. Pop quiz. What are the two, here we go, what are the two amounts that you could qualify for? What if you had Pell Grant? How much? If you did not have Pell Grant, how much? Did you have to work for a public service organization in order to qualify for the basic student loan forgiveness? No. Okay. Y'all did real good, right? We 3 for 3. Last one. Y'all ready? What's the income limit for a single filer? $125,000. Got it. What's the income limit for a married filing joint? $250,000. What is the definition of single? No dependents. You cannot claim your dog. You right, Miss Shonda. You are right. It's just you. Okay. Okay. Last one. I say that for right now. What is head of household? When you have at least one dependent that you care for. And, ooh, can I get her a gift card? She got it. That was it. She said, and you file it on your taxes. Because you could say, oh, well, I take care of, may kids and stuff. You don't file may kids on your taxes. It don't count. Can the dependent be a non-working spouse? Absolutely not. That is married filing jointly. All right. And actually, it's smarter to file that way. I'm not getting into tax today, but it's all kind of commingled there. So, no, that's the answer. But they still qualify because it's married filing joint. All right? And if it's married filing joint, it's how much? Oh, y'all going to be able to teach a class in just a minute. Okay. Y'all did really good. That's great. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. It gets a little thicker than that, all right? It gets a little bit more. What's the date that you have to fill out your application? What's the end date? 2023 of December 31st is when the ending is, but it hasn't started. When does it start? When's the application open? They didn't give a specific date. They were smart. They just knew they'd be sometime in October. So whenever they do, we're going to send you an email, but you have to register to get the email. You have to register at, man, y'all got the best class I know. You hear me? moneymatterslive.com. Y'all got it. I love it. Thank you so much. All right, let's keep going. Now there's a concept, and you all know this, and this is James 2:26 now. Faith without works is dead. So everybody wants student loan forgiveness, but if you don't go do the application, how that's going to work? Let's be real clear. If you don't go and fill out and get the account log in, how are we going to get student loan forgiveness and you ain't even in the system? If you hadn't logged in and updated your information and they still got 2 addresses ago, oh, they still got your phone number that you had in high school because you ain't looked at it since college. Come on now. It's real. You have to make sure the information's there. You gotta set yourself up for success. So faith without works is dead. We got the faith that it's coming. We got it. Now you gotta go do the work. Just log in and get your information up to date. Goodness. Simple. All right, we ready? Now this is what the question was about earlier. Let's make sure we don't have any other questions because this gets a little more complex. We're good? Deacon Thomas? Good. All right. Public service loan forgiveness is another type of student loan forgiveness, and there's some things going on with that as well. What is it? Public service loan forgiveness is basically you allowing them allowing you to turn your direct loans into a waive, like they're gonna take them all the way. They're going to waive your direct loans after you make 120 qualifying payments. That's equal up to 10 years. 120 qualifying payments under a qualifying repayment plan while working for a qualifying employer. It's a whole lot. All right, so let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about it. Here we go. 120 qualifying monthly payments, we're gonna start there. I'm not going to go deep on this because they have this thing that they're doing a limited waiver. The limited waiver is if you didn't make, so what they want you to do, let me go back real quick. They want you to make all of the payments on time for 10 years, okay? And do all of this stuff. But what if you missed a payment or two? In the old law, they said, you don't get it. You'll start over from that point. But in the new law, the Biden-Harris administration said, hey, we want to make sure you're okay. If you missed a payment or two, go in there and fill out this application, and we're going to see if we can get you qualified even though you missed a payment or two. Isn't that pretty great? They saying, let us see if we can get you qualified to get some of those years counted that you worked, and you still qualify, but the only thing that messed up was one or two things, all right? They got a lot of rules, so they like, it's real stringent. Let us give you a little leeway. Here we go. That's 120 qualifying payments. I'm not going to stay there long because they're modifying it in a way, so I don't have to stay there. Let's keep going. Under a qualifying repayment plan, they have options whenever you're filling out for your documents that says income-based repayment or this kind of repayment, that kind of, you have to qualify for that. I'm not getting deep into that either because I'm not here to teach you about student loans and that kind of stuff. My goal is to teach you how to get your qualifications in that part. So we're good. The most important thing is a full time at a qualifying employer. I'm going to break that down. All right, let's go. Do I qualify for public service loan forgiveness? Now, you had to be employed by U.S. federal, state, local, or tribal government, or a not-for-profit is their language. I'm going to say nonprofit organization, and military does count. All right, that's the first thing. So somebody gonna ask me, Candace, how I know? Great. In the links that we're gonna send you if you registered at moneymatterslive.com, it's gonna have a link there that says, see if your employer qualifies, and you will need the EIN of that employer. So how do you get the EIN? Somebody gonna ask that question. Get your W-2 or your paycheck stub. Sometimes it's on your paycheck stub. Check both, and if you're at the job still, ask them. They'll give it to you, okay? All right, that's the first thing. It's a lot of little steps, but let's that one. You got to work for that agency full time. What is full time? They said full time is either whatever your employer says it is or 30 hours a week, whichever is greater. We got it? Simple. Nonprofit or federal, state, local agency, and work there full time. What's the third one? You have to have direct loans. Ooh, and what does that say? Or consolidate other federal loans into a direct loan. Didn't we just talk about consolidation? That's so important. So you have to have a direct loan or consolidate into a direct loan. So some of you are like, okay, well, how do I know if I got that or not? If you register at moneymatterslive.com, you're gonna get a link. And that link inside of that document, that link is gonna say, hey, check to see, this is how you check to see if you have direct loans. Actually, I'll even tell you, if you log into your account and go to My Aid, under My Aid, it'll show that you have direct or not. It's pretty simple, but if you register, I got you. All right, ready? Keep going. Repay your loans under an income-driven repayment plan. That's a big deal. Now, these are the qualifications. If you fill out for this waiver, if some of these you didn't qualify for, they may allow you to include it into the number. Let's keep going. Make 120 qualifying payments. That's 10 years. Now, this is why. Now you see like, oh, man, that's a lot. This is not the basic plan. This is to get all of your loans waived. I'm going to show you something at the end because some people like, that ain't real. I got something for you. Because some people don't believe in it. I'm going to show you, okay? Make 120 qualifying payments, which is 10 years. All of these things, let's say you missed one or two of them. Do the link that I'm going to send you, and you're going to do the application anyway. That application is due by October 31st, and I'm going to mention that again in just a moment. Let's keep going. Some people like, okay, well, Candace, kind of break down that employer kind of thing. Just talk to me about that. Who qualifies? It says government organizations at any level. That's state, federal, local, or tribal. All right, that's pretty simple. Let's give some examples of those organizations here locally. Long-term care facilities, it depends. It depends. You'll have to look that up. So she said a long-term care facility. It depends on the facility. They could be private owned. Private owned doesn't qualify. Schools, perfect. Teachers, almost 100% qualify, but it depends on who you work for. Sometimes those private owned schools don't qualify.
The city of Little Rock.
Okay, City of Little Rock, that's a government agency. Good. City of any colleges and universities, perfect. As long as they're not private owned. The IRS, that's good. That's it. They qualify. It's a government agency. What about Methodist Family Health? Anybody knew that they were a nonprofit? Methodist. What's another nonprofit? Baptist Health. Oh, qualifies. You have to look it up. In the link, moneymatterslive.com, you'll get a link. I'm telling you. And we're going to be able to get you a little link. You can click it and search your organization, and you'll be able to do it. You can also do it as student loans, but it's easier if I just send it to you, right? Yeah, okay. All right, nonprofit organizations that are tax exempt under a 501c3 of the Internal Revenue Code. Now, that is big. Now, remember, you got to work full-time for that organization, but that's big. Yes, ma'am. UAMS. Yes, ma'am. You got it. Make sure you put their code in, but I'm about 98% that it's a yes. Okay? All right, other types of nonprofit organizations that are not exempt under the 501c3 Internal Revenue Code, which provides certain types of qualifying public service. Now, sometimes that's mental health, sometimes that's long-term care. It depends. You have to look up your organization in order to see. So the way for you to just say, okay, Candace, let me see if this is even worth me going to do. Find your organization that you worked for, and I'm going to say in the last 10 to 15 years, because public service student loan forgiveness has been around for a very long time. But if you've worked for those organizations, you may have 3, 4, 5 years built up that you didn't know about. So go back about 15 years in your work history, if you know you work in that field, to check out those organizations, okay? I'm just telling you not to lose that money because it could be on the table for you, all right? All the other companies don't qualify. Got it? Which are for-profits. So I had a friend, she said, Candace, we did healthcare. Like, we do healthcare. We, client management. Client management, some kind of stuff like that. But it's healthcare, and it's like mental health stuff. She said, I think I qualify. I filled out the paperwork. This is true. I filled out the paperwork. They told me it was approved. And when she looked up the information today, when she put in the EIN number for that company, it said does not qualify. She thought that it did, and they sent her the stuff like, yeah, that's it. Did not qualify. The organization is a private-owned organization. They don't qualify, even though she did mental health services. So I'm telling you to just check it. That's really your first step if you're on public service.